Hello students, welcome to Trunkie Academy. Today we'll study about the class Aves and Mammalia. Like yesterday I told you, okay, that we'll be studying Aves and mammals. And yesterday we studied about the class Amphibia and Reptilia. So these amphibians, reptilians, aves and these mammalian, these animals are tetrapods that I explained yesterday. So we were studying about the first started with the different groups of living beings, and under that we studied about how the animals and the plants are categorized into different groups. And R.H. Whittaker he divided the five, gave the five kingdom classification, and we also studied about the this what we call the phylum Chordata, and under phylum Chordata we have got different vertebrates. Okay, the first group of vertebrates were Pisces, which we studied, and after that the next higher group of the organism is the amphibians, and amphibians are also called the amphibians are the animals that can live in water as well as on land, because they are adapted to live in both terrestrial and aquatic mode of life. After that, reptilians were evolved, and reptilians are the true vertebrates, and they evolved on land. Okay. Now after that, reptilians, we have got another class, that is class Reptilia, as a class Aves. Okay. Class Aves includes all the birds. When in Mesozoic era, when the reptiles were dominant, and in reptiles when these dinosaurs were dominant, okay, although they got extinct from this world, but the birds and the mammals, they evolved from the reptiles. Okay, the different fossils that has been found and the different paleontological evidences of evolution and other evidences of evolution indicates that reptiles were the group of animals that gave rise to mammals and aves, birds. Okay, so from reptiles there are two different lines of evolution. Okay, one line went to the evolution of mammals and one line to the evolution of aves. Okay, duck-billed platypus is an example of such an animal, which is the connecting link between the reptiles and the mammals, because it has hairs on its body, which is the mammalian feature. At the same time, it lay eggs, which is not a mammalian feature, but this laying of egg is the reptilian feature. Okay, so it indicates that this is the link. Okay, so during the course of evolution, so reptiles gave rise to mammals. At the same time, you also observe that there are some kind of animals which has the features of both reptiles and birds, like Archaeopteryx. The fossils has been found, and by studying these fossils, the scientists and evolutionary biologists have come to know that birds are also evolved from the reptiles. Okay, so because Archaeopteryx has a teeth. Okay, like unlike the in the beak of birds there is no teeth, but it has got teeth. Okay, the scales are present like birds on their legs. Okay, so there's so many other features which are similar to both reptiles and birds, similar features to reptiles and birds, which indicates that Archaeopteryx is the connecting link between birds and reptiles, and birds were evolved from reptiles. So when we talk about the birds, we see so many different variety of birds. Okay, there are many varieties adapted. They are arboreal mode of life. They can what we call that, they can fly. They have got the forelimbs, the front limbs are modified into wings. Okay, and the class Aves includes few extinct and a large number of extinct birds. Some are extinct, and okay, and they are feathered. Their body is covered by feathers. Okay, and their forelimbs are modified in bipedal. Okay, they walk with the two hind limbs. There, endothermic. Okay, or homeothermic. They are vertebrates. They have a well-developed vertebral column. Okay, so class Aves or birds includes very few extinct. Some are extinct, but large number are extant. They are living, and they have got feathers on their body. Bipedal locomotion with the two. Okay, and endothermic means their body temperature do not change with the change in the temperature of the environment. They maintain their constant body temperature by themselves, and they are vertebrates, true vertebrates with well-developed vertebral column. Modern flying birds have undergone modifications in their morphological and anatomical and physiological features, okay, and undergone as adaptation to suit their aerial mode of life. They can fly. So modern flying birds, okay, they have undergone modification. Some large birds are not flying. Okay, non-flying birds are also there, okay, but some modern birds which are flying, they have got some morphological, anatomical, and physiological changes in their features to fit their aerial mode of life. Okay, so what are those adaptations? We'll go through that also. Like their body and their bones are light and pneumatic. Okay, their excretory products, I mean the elimination value is very less content. Okay, so that to reduce the weight of the body. Okay, their metabolism to produce energy is very fast. Okay, major flight adaptations which enable them to evolve as master of air by J.Z. Young. J.Z. is a very young scientist, zoologist, who has written books and had done so many researches on different animals. J.Z. Young, he was the scientist. The feathers, wings, powerful breast musculature, pneumatic bones, endothermy with high metabolic rate, and keen sense of vision. These are the different adaptation that has taken place in birds for to enable them to suit them in aerial mode of life. Okay, feathers are present, wings, with the help of wings they fly, powerful breast muscles which is there in their chest region. Okay, because they are flying in the movement, and pneumatic bones, soft, light, and pneumatic bones are found reduce the weight of the body. Endothermy to maintain the normal body temperature, because high metabolic rate is required, because when they are flying and they are moving their wings. And keen sense of vision, okay, the sense of vision is very highly evolved, and these are the different. Now T.H. Huxley is another scientist who described aves or birds as glorified reptiles. Okay, because reptiles are the precursor animals. Okay, birds were evolved from the reptiles. So reptiles, when they are they have some changes in modification, specialization. So, okay, so then it becomes aves or birds. Okay, so T.H. Huxley, he described these birds as glorified reptiles. Okay, theropod reptiles of the Jurassic period gave rise to the birds. Okay, so we know that there are so many different types of reptiles are there. Okay, lizards, snakes, and dinosaurs were also the reptile, but they became extinct. Okay, theropod, one kind of reptile, theropod, which look like this in the picture that you are able to see at your screen. Okay, these theropod reptiles gave rise to the birds. Okay, evolution of birds took place from these reptiles, theropod. Birds became modernized during Cretaceous period. So they evolved. Their evolution started in Jurassic period, but they become modernized. Okay, they fully evolved in Cretaceous period after the Jurassic period. The study of bird is known as ornithology. Okay, it's like in a study of fishes. I told you it is ichthyology. Study of amphibians, it is called batrachology, and study of reptiles, it is called herpetology. Study of aves or birds, it is known as ornithology. Okay. Dr. Salim Ali, he is the father of ornithology in India. He was from the South Indian, a very famous bird watcher. Okay, very famous Indian ornithologist. He has extensively studied about the different types of birds. Okay, and He is regarded as the first famous Indian ornithologist. Okay, Birdman of India. The another name he is, a nickname is given to. Okay, the Birdman of India. Okay. Now, when we observe a general features of the birds, okay, and characteristic features are in the birds, in a typical bird, we'll find that body is streamlined. Yes, to pass through the air or wind that are passing, flying. Okay, to so that will not offer resistance. The body is streamlined. Okay, distinguished into head, body is head, neck, trunk, and rudimentary tail. The tail is rudimentary, small. Okay. In the lizards, it was fully functional and long, big. Okay. But in case of the birds, it's rudimentary, small, and not much functional. Body is streamlined because when flying, it will be easy for us. Feel easy for the birds to fly through the wind. Okay, and body is divisible into head, neck, trunk, and rudimentary tail. Forelimbs are modified into wings and hind limbs. Forelimbs are adapted for walking, running, swimming, perching, okay, and sitting on a branch. The forelimbs, the front limbs are modified into wings, and hind limbs are. So this is wrong. This is written wrong. Actually, instead of writing forelimbs in the second box, the third, the lower box, okay, the hind limbs are adapted for walking, running, swimming, perching, and sitting on a branch, not forelimbs. Okay. Forelimbs are modified into wings, and hind limbs are adapted for walking, not forelimbs. It's written mistakenly. It is written here forelimbs. It should be hind limbs, the limbs that is at the posterior side. Okay, not in here. Okay. So that is BC. Observe. Now, skin is dry, devoid of glands. Okay, like we have also observed in the what do you call this, reptiles. The skin is dry. Okay, but there is no glands on the skin. But an oil gland, preen gland, or uropygial gland is present at the base of the tail. At the base of the tail, there is one special kind of gland, that is the oil gland or preen gland in birds. Okay, preen gland, oil gland, uropygial. It's all called uropygial because it is in the tail. Okay, uro means tail, and so exoskeleton consists of epidermal feathers, a unique feature. This feather is not found in any other group of animals. Feather is the characteristic feature, distinguishing feature of birds. Okay, it is the epidermal feathers, means from the skin is epidermal, and it is the exoskeleton. Scales on the legs are found, like we have seen in the reptiles also. Horny covering on the beak, Rhampotheca. There is a hard horny covering on the beak. Okay, it's hard. Beak is hard horny covering. That's called Rhampotheca. Okay, and the claws on the toes, and the hind limbs, you'll find the claws. Okay, and the scales on the leg. Now, when you talk about the skeleton of the bird, okay, thumb, middle digit, external digit, metacarpal, radius, ulna, humerus, dorsal vertebrae, caudal vertebrae, pygostyle, ischium, pubis, rib, etc. Like we find this similar structure in the mammals also. Okay, skull, orbit for different. Okay, the sense organ, nares. Okay, upper maxillary in the jaw, lower maxillary, cervical vertebra. Okay, then the vertebra are like we have seen in the mammals also. Okay, the clavicle. Okay, caracoid, femur, sternum, tibia, tarsometatarsals in the leg and middle toe. So all these names are not required to know, but these are the different parts of the skeleton that is present in the birds. Okay, as per the syllabus of CBSE, NCERT and NEET, these different names, each and every name is not required. Okay, we have to know the skull, then is the vertebra, that is the vertebrae. Okay, the well skeleton is light, pneumatic. Okay, the hind limbs is modified for perching, walking, etc. Okay, and also there is a pygostyle at the last bone. Pygostyle. This is an important feature to know for the exam. Pygostyle is the last bone at the end of the vertebral column. Okay, ischium and pubis bones are there in the in the posterior region of the body, okay, as the skeleton of the part of the skeleton. Okay, long bones are hollow with air cavity. This is important point for exam. Long bones are hollow with air cavities. Okay, to make the body light. If the body is heavy, then it will be difficult for these birds to fly. To make the body light in weight, the long bones are with air cavities, hollow with air cavities. Okay, and these are called pneumatic bones. Okay. Skull is monocondylic. You have seen the birds or hens can move their head 360 degree. We are not able to move 180 degree from here to here. So 180 degree only, because we are dicondylic. This point I have already explained in the previous class twice. Again I am explaining that condylic means when there is the first vertebra, okay, right after the skull. So there will be there kind of structure, elevated structure on the first vertebra, okay, that will fit to the skull, the two small depressions, okay, that is called dicondylic. But in case of these birds, only single elevation on the first vertebra is found in atlas vertebra, and that fits with the one single depression in the skull, monocondylic, so that the birds are able to move their hand almost 360 degree. Okay, vertebra are heterocoelous. One is concave, one is not concave. Okay, that I have already explained about the heterocoelous, amphicoelous, etc. Okay. Now, the last thoracic, lumbar, sacral, and anterior few caudal vertebrae are fused to form synsacrum. This is important point with regard to skeleton of the birds. Okay. In our case, lumbar, sacral vertebrae are distinct, not fused in almost all the mammals. But in case of this, the birds and class Aves, lumbar vertebra, sacral vertebra, and thoracic vertebra, these are fused. Okay, why fused? This is also due to adaptation for aerial mode of life. Like there is a pneumatic bones, like there is air cavities and hollow bones to reduce the weight of the bird. Similarly, this is also one of the adaptation to reduce the weight of the bird by fusing together. Okay, thoracic, lumbar, and sacral body. Okay, you know that right after the skull, the first vertebra are called cervical vertebra. Okay, the different names of the vertebra: cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral, etc. Okay, so the thoracic vertebra, lumbar vertebra, and the last one, sacral vertebra, they are fused, and this structure is called an anterior few caudal, even the anterior few caudal vertebra. So you can see in the diagram, caudal is the last group of vertebra. You can see these are the caudal vertebra. Okay, the red one I am showing this one. This is a caudal vertebra, and the fused one. There are some caudal vertebra here also. This few caudal vertebra. Caudal means the last caudal vertebra, sacral vertebra, lumbar vertebrae, and thoracic. They are fused to form a structure called synsacrum. Very, very important for the NEET examination. Synsacrum. Synsacrum is the skeletal structure of the fused thoracic, lumbar, sacral, and few anterior caudal vertebrae. Okay, this is one of the result of adaptation for aerial mode of life. Okay, synsacrum infused with pelvic girdle to provide support to hind limbs. Okay, fused with the pelvic girdle. You can see the pelvic girdle there. Okay, so this is fused to provide the support to the hind limbs. Okay, a few posterior caudal vertebrae are fused to form pygiostyle. Now again you see the pygiostyle, number 2. Here, this is the pygiostyle. Now this caudal vertebra, few caudal vertebra again fused at the end. This is also important for the NEET examination. Okay, whether the mandibular, the orbit, and the lower jaw, upper jaw. Okay, then there is the what we call the clavicle, the sternum. All these are not required actually. The main point for this, as per the syllabus of the NEET, this is sternum and synsacrum and the pygiostyle. Synsacrum and the pygiostyle is important. For synsacrum is the skeletal structure bone, which is the result of fusion of thoracic, lumbar, sacral, and few anterior caudal vertebrae. Pygostyle is the structure by forming by the fusion of last some few caudal vertebrae. Okay, posterior caudal vertebrae, last one. Okay, a pygostyle provides support to the tail feathers at the posterior region of the tail, so it provides support. Now look at this. Now you have got a big picture here. Metacarpus, like in our body, in the skeleton, carpal, metacarpal, phalanges, these fingers, they have got phalanges there also. Orbit for the eye, maxilla in the jaw, mandible, the lower jaw, okay, cervical vertebra in the neck region, clavicle here in the chest region, okay, forcula is another one, it is especially a unique feature of the birds, okay, keel, the breast bone, caracoid, the another bone in the shoulder region, okay, sternum, okay, in the chest, sternum, and the ribs, the sternum and the ribs, okay, scapula, okay, scapula, these are not, synsacrum and pygostyle is very, very important, okay, and femur, the thigh bone, then tibiotarsus, the next the bone, tarso, metatarsus, and the digits, okay, these are, and humerus, this one, radius and ulna is present here like in mammals, okay, radius and ulna in the hands, okay, and here it is a humerus, okay. So these are the different skeletal parts of the bird. Sternum has a keel or carina for the attachment of flight muscles. Sternum, okay, in the chest region, flight muscles. They have strong flight muscles, okay. Keel carina is absent in reticulated birds, which are flightless birds, okay. Ribs are double-headed. On the both ribs, one double-headed, both have double-headed, as in crocodiles and therian mammals. Even in the therian mammals, in mammals there are division, eutherian, metatherian, like that. In therian mammals, we find that this is the double-headed. Here also in the double-headed, means head is double-headed, okay. Double-headed, okay. So this is the feature of it. Now forcula, you can see the forcula in an arc-like structure, okay, and keeled sternum, keeled, pointed in front, keeled sternum, and there keeled sternum is the structure, the skeletal structure, the flight muscles are attached, okay, that is called a breastbone also, okay, forcula. Clavicles are fused with interclavicle to form V-shaped bone called forcula, wishbone, or merithod bone. So this is the name given for wishbone, forcula, okay. Clavicles, in case of the other vertebrates, you don't find like this. So clavicles are fused to form forcula. You may remember this, or it's also called wishbone or merithod bone. Okay, sternum or keeled sternum is a structure where flight muscles are attached. Okay, coracoid, scapula, coracoid and scapula is also present in the chest region. Okay, and or the abdominal region. Okay, and humerus is the first bone in the leg, and the radius and ulna. Then there is the branch in the feathers. Okay, feather where the wings are formed in the wings region. Okay, wing, not feathers, wings region. Metacarpals. Okay, and supra coracoideus muscles are there, and pectoralis muscle, the chest muscles, and keel of sternum. Okay. All modern flying birds are provided with powerful breast muscle, flight muscles, and flight muscles are pectoralis major and pectoralis minor. Just remember, pectoralis major and pectoralis minor. So pectoralis muscle, which is attached to the sternum. Okay, that has two categories: pectoralis major and pectoralis minor. Teeth are absent in the extant bird. Teeth are totally absent. Toothless beak is present. No teeth are present. No teeth are present. But in some birds which has already become extinct, they were just evolved from the reptiles. Some of those birds which have already been, they were bearing some teeth. But in modern birds, the birds which are living nowadays, found nowadays, extinct birds, they do not have teeth in their beak. Esophagus is often dilated into crop for a storage. What happens in the case of the bird? The esophagus coming from the buccal cavity, they dilated, and the crop-like structure there, dilated, forming a a large space, okay, in alimentary canal. So that is called crop. Stomach is usually divided into glandular proventricus and muscular gizzard. Okay, proventricular and muscular gizzard. Cloaca is three chambered. Cloaca is the structure from where these wastes are removed, isn't? So cloaca is three chambered as in reptiles. Okay, so the stomach is usually glandular, proventriculus, and muscular gizzard. Muscular gizzard is a grinding. This gizzard is a structure which helps in the grinding, crushing of the food they eat. Okay, when they are eating seeds, no, they are eating hard seeds. So far, grinding function is achieved by this muscular gizzard. Okay, and there is a one kind of glandular proventriculus is present. Cloaca is three chambered as in reptiles. The respiratory system consists of compact, spongy, undistentible lungs. That means in our body it's distended, okay, expanding and relaxing. No, in case of these birds, lungs are not expanding. Okay, and without alveoli, we have got lungs with alveoli. Okay, alveoli, and lungs are associated with air sacs. Air sacs are there. Okay, air sacs are there, but alveoli are absent. Alveoli are absent. Okay, so it is undistentive. That is not expanding, or it is like in our body. Okay, air sacs facilitate continuous oxygenation of blood, and pneumaticity of bones is a unique feature. Okay, air sacs have continuous oxygenation of blood. Okay, air sac, because air sacs have some air inside, and that supplies the oxygen. So air sac is always filled up to supply oxygen. Okay, voice box is sharynx. That's why the birds are able to sing the song in the morning time. That is because of the sound is produced by sharynx. Okay, that lies at the junction of trachea and bronchi. Okay, so that is the reason they are able to produce a unique kind of sound while singing. Okay, heart is four chambered, like in mammals in our body. Okay, so here in birds also it's four chambered. Okay, two auricle and two ventricle. Sinus venosus and conus arteriosus are absent as in mammals. In mammals, we have sinus venosus and conus arteriosus are absent. Okay, and now only right systemic arc is present. Right systemic arc is present, and renal portal system is reduced. Okay, renal portal system, where the supply of blood, renal portal system, the portal system, the blood vessels. Okay, in the kidney that is there, but it is reduced. Erythrocytes are nucleate as in reptiles, but in mammals nucleus is absent in RBC or erythrocytes. Okay, kidneys are metanephric and three lobe. This is very important point. Okay, metanephric means it's advanced and specialized kidney. Okay, because their metabolism is high and they need to remove their waste, okay, as soon as possible. Okay, urinary bladder is absent except in ostrich, because they are flightless bird. Ostrich is a big flightless bird. Urinary bladder is present in ostrich but absent in other birds, because they do not store. Because if they store urine, the birds will be heavy. This is also an point or a change or modification with regard to adaptation for aerial mode of flight, for flying. Okay, the absence of urinary bladder. The absence of urinary bladder is also an example or indication of the what we call that adaptation in aerial mode of life. Okay, birds are uricotelic like reptiles, because if they store too much of it, when they are really discharging their stool is very little quantity, isn't, and almost dry, okay? Not very liquid. Okay, that is because to reduce the weight of the body. Brain is large, olfactory lobes are okay, well developed olfactory lobes are found. Olfactory lobes are there and it is reduced. Cranial nerves, 12 pairs. Eye possesses sclerotic plates. Eye, sclerotic plates, like in case of the eyes of the human being, we have got different layers. No? retina, then the choroid. Similarly, here also they have got sclerotic plates in eye. Okay, a comb-shaped vascular pectin projects from the retina into the vitreous humor, except in kiwi. Vitreous humor and aqueous humor. What is it? So vitreous humor is the actually there is a space between the first pupil. So from the light is the entry. From there to the lens there is aqueous humor, and from the lens to the retina there is a vitreous humor. So a small comb-shaped vascular pectin projects from the retina, comes out from the retina into the vitreous humor, which is not found in case of the mammals, but except in kiwi. Okay, except in kiwi it is found in all birds. Pectin is absent in kiwi. Middle ear has a single ear ossicle, the columella oris, like we have seen in reptile. Okay, columella oris. Olfactory sense is usually poor. To smell, the power of smell is usually poor, except in kiwi. And olfactory sense is well developed in kiwi. Okay, but in case of other birds, the sense of vision is well developed, but sense of smell is poorly developed. Okay, but in kiwi, olfactory sense or sense of smell is well developed. Sexes are separate, testes are paired. Okay, ovary and oviduct are oviduct of the right side are almost completely atrophied in a mature female. Okay, so on the left side only it is fully functional. Ovary and oviduct of the right side are almost completely atrophied, become reduced, not much functional. So the one that is on the left side is functional. Why this? To reduce. This is also and change or modification or adaptation for aerial mode of flight, to reduce the weight of the body. So right ovary and oviduct are almost atrophied, reduced in size, okay, and not functional in mature female. Copulatory organ is absent in males. Copulatory organ is present in reptiles like duck, geese, etc. Okay, those who are not flying, they have got copulatory organ, but in the flying birds, okay, copulatory organ or external genitalia is absent. Okay, all the birds are oviparous, they lay eggs. All the birds, eggs are megalecythal. Okay, and their the egg shell is fragile, which made up of the calcium carbonate. Megalecythal means the egg yolk is large in number. Egg yolk is distinct, large, big in number, present in the central region of the egg. Okay, and they form the extra embryonic membrane. Fertilization is internal, and cleavage is meroblastic and discoidal, as in reptiles. I will explain this. Okay, hatchlings are ultrical in flying birds and carinate birds. So ratiti and these are the flying birds. Okay, so ratiti is one of a kind of group of birds which do not fly, but carinate is the flying birds. Ratiti, like the geese, ducks, also these are flightless bird. Okay, so artificial hatchlings are incapable of moving. Altricial. Okay, hatchlings are altricial. Altricial means they live in the nest. Okay, the mother bring the their food, and they give the feed to their hatchlings. Okay, their the offspring are moving around on their own soon after hatching. They are atricial, and they're not able to move around where they have come out from the egg. Okay, so mother bird, they bring the food for the hatchlings. Okay, hatchlings are precocial in flightless bird, and that is ratiti birds. Okay, precocial means they can move around there on their own, and after hatching, and they can find their food and they can eat. Okay, in case of this flightless bird, not in the flying birds. Example is the example of the birds are very common example that we have observed. Corvus, crow. Columbia livia, pigeon. Okay, Coraceus bengalensis is the blue jay, state bird of the Andhra Pradesh. Aptenodytes, penguin. Okay, they don't fly, but they belong to birds. Pavo, peafowl, national bird of India, and neophron, vulture. Okay, then the Citacula, parrot. These are the some common examples of birds. Okay, now the lizard bird, Archaeopteryx. I was talking about. Archaeopteryx lithographica, ancient bird, lizard bird, is the Jurassic fossil bird. The fossil of the Archaeopteryx has been found. Okay, so these birds represented the features of both reptiles and birds. They have teeth in their beak, reptilian character. Wing claw, reptilian character. The forelimb, the claw is there. Okay, but in the wings of the bird, flying bird, you won't find any claw. Okay, airfoil wings with contour feathers, that is avian character, feature of the birds. Long tail, that is the many vertebrate reptilian characters. Okay, so feathers, okay, the beak and the airfoil wings, these are the feature of birds. But the teeth, claw in the wings, these are the reptilian features. So they represented the missing link between or connecting link between the birds and the reptiles. Okay, it possesses some reptilian and avian character, hence considered as the connecting link between reptiles and birds. Ratiti or Paleognathi. Ratiti means flightless bird. Okay, and Carinati means flying bird. They are modern flightless running birds. They are continuous in distribution like the lungfishes and marsupials. Discontinuous in distribution. Marsupial means the kangaroos in the mammals. Discontinuous in distribution. Not found all over the world. Found in some region, endemic. Like in Australia and New Zealand, we find marsupial kangaroos. Okay, not everywhere. These flightless birds are also found in some part of the world, in only some part of not all over the world. Okay, they are characterized by the presence of reduced wings, raft-like sternum without keel. Raft-like means not without keel is pointed at the projecting like this, but no, a little flat. Okay, and male with penis. And males with penis present. Okay, they do not possess serings. They do not sing a song like the flying birds we see. They are producing some kind of sound in the early morning. But these flightless birds do not have serings and do not produce sounds, or they do not sing a song like flying birds. Okay, clavicles. They do not possess serings, clavicles, and usually preen gland. Okay, they do not possess these serings, clavicles, and usually preen gland is also absent. In few, the preen gland, in few of the flightless bird, preen gland is present, but serings and clavicles are absent. Okay, these are the example are Struthio camelus, African ostrich, kiwi, national bird of New Zealand. Okay, rhea, American ostrich, and the dromeus, emu. These are all flightless bird. Okay, and cassoreus. Okay, these all are the examples of flightless bird. Okay, now we'll go through some MCQ. Homeothermic sauropsidans are reptiles, birds, mammals, or both 1 and 2. It is birds. Homeothermic sauropsidans. Okay. Now the most important character of bird is the feather, or is it the scales, beak, or monocondylic skull. It is feathers, unique feature. Okay, monocondylic skull may be found in some other animals also, but it is feather is a unique feature. The scales are also found in some other animals. Okay, beak is unique, but obviously beak is smaller in size, and feathers is found all over the body. So it will be feathers, as if we want to consider as most important character of bird. Then the type of cleavage in bird is the holoblastic, equal, holoblastic, unequal, meroblastic, or it is meroplastic. I will explain about it. Okay. Now in the next class tomorrow we will study about the class Mammalia. Okay, and so tomorrow again at the same time we will meet again, and I would like to tell you that after this class that I have already explained and told you, that I will send you some DPP, daily practice paper, okay, and you will go through that daily practice paper. When you log into your academic booster, you will find a link called resources, and there after clicking on resources you will find writing material. Click on that, you will find your the daily practice paper sent by us, and the today's topic you find out and download, answer the questions and send back to us for evaluation. Okay, so thank you for joining and listening. Tomorrow again we'll meet at the same time. Till then, goodbye. See you again tomorrow. Okay, so bye.